Did you put music on it?
I
There's no
didn't put
music.
any, I
There's no
didn't put
music.
any on. I don't have the control to.
What do you mean by you don't have control? You have to join as a team member. I think you have to join as a team member.
Right. You just put me in as
I thought you had
backstage.
to sign with your own login name.
I did. And then I got out.
So how do you do that? Tell me now. Tomorrow, today we can practice in the evening. How do you do that music?
You go to the plus sign
Okay.
and you just click it, and then a window pops
Oh,
up,
oh, sorry.
and then you can just pick one.
Okay.
And then there's a gauge that tells you you can make it loud or soft.
Soft. Oh, chilly.
I mean low or high.
Okay. So you are going to introduce me. You're going to be in the main stage, right? 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I don't think they see us. I'm not sure.
They should see exactly what we're looking at.
Facebook and LinkedIn, they tell us we are in the live. We are live. Okay. Just a minute. How do you turn off the music?
There's a slide button in the top
Okay.
right corner of that window.
Okay.
You see it?
No.
So on the left is a window, a square. In that square, at the top right corner, there's a button you can slide it.
Oh, I don't see that button for me. Go ahead. Anyway.
Well, just go to the plus sign and just click it.
Background music, right?
Yeah. Because if you don't, it'll play the whole time.
Yeah, but I don't know how to do this. I made a mistake.
That's okay. Go to the plus sign.
Yeah, I'm in the background. Okay. Oh no. What is going on here? I don't have the.
Can you see the
Plus
window?
sign, yeah. Oh, in the. No, you have to go to the actual music place. No.
No. There's two ways. You can go to the left, that left panel, and go down.
Oh, left panel. Okay.
So there'll be you, me, and then another window.
Oh, that's okay, okay, okay. Yeah, got it. Okay. All right, that's what you're saying. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Anyway, thank you everyone for jumping in tonight. Appreciate it. My name is Jennifer Niemeyer, and I'm with Daily Wear for Medicine, Vice President. And Ramana Anna Maraju is going to be talking to us again tonight about Paul Dirac, which is really incredible. Paul Dirac in 1930 had invented the PET scanner, and we still use it today. It saves millions of lives, so I'm looking forward to that. Want to let you know that we have our ebook and a whole bunch of swag that I'll talk about at the end. But our website, www.dailywearformedicine.com, you can always go there. And I would like to introduce Ramana. He is actually a really, really good friend of mine. He has authored the book, Science is Not a Subject, Science Must Be a Lifestyle. And he's got a master's in physics. He studied nuclear engineering and computer science. He's had years of experience in the healthcare field. And so when he gets to tell us and we get to learn from him, it's absolutely truly a joy. So I will turn it over to you, Romana. So looking forward to Paul Dirac tonight. So take it away.
Thank you, Jennifer. So thank you so much. I just hello, good morning, India. Good afternoon in England and Europe, and good evening in California. A lot of family friends and their family and friends, quite a bit of friends. And then in the bedtime in almost bedtime story in East Coast. But anyway, the purpose of this book is to give a exposure to the different fields for the healthcare professionals. The innovation, the innovations behind the science behind the innovations of healthcare. That's what our goal is, to bring those kind of things. Exposure to different subjects are important. I give a story. My son, he is now a neuroscientist, but when he got admission in the Vanderbilt, Daddy, I don't want to go to Vanderbilt. All my buddies are going to the UGA. I wanted to go to school I don't want to go to Vanderbilt. I said that Vanderbilt is a prestigious school, though UGA is a good school, but it's a prestigious school. He should go there. He said, no, no, all my friends are going. I told him, I bribed him. So why don't you go for that special trip that they offered, and then see Vanderbilt campus, and then see then you decide after that, So I bribed him with a little money and everything. Then he went there. Then he said that, yes, I'm going to Vanderbilt. What changed? I asked him, what changed your mind? He said, oh, there are so many beautiful women, Dad. so so exposure is always good. It works. So all subjects, like mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, arts, all those things are part of exposure. And when you get exposed, you have a better understanding of what innovations you need, actually, what kind of innovations, curiosity, create inspiration for that. That is the purpose of this book. But I'm going to talk about, everybody knows PET scanner, positron emission tomography, to detect cancer and tumors in the body. I'm going to talk about that. So the story of positron. People don't know, even oncologists may not know about all the story about the positron. They may know about all the benefits of the in the medicine for all of us, but really truly remarkable story behind it. A towering personality, truly towering. Is 6 foot 6 foot 5, I think. Is a tall, the story of the character behind him, behind this positron emission tomography. So I start with something I wanted to tell you. Um, so there is a evil twin exists in the universe. So when you go in the mirror, you see yourself an object in the mirror. So you never think that in the mirror, a person in the mirror is separate from you. But think about it. If that person becomes separate from you, and and pray God that you don't want to meet that person. If that person becomes separate from you in the mirror, the person you see in the mirror, that you never wanted to meet that person, because that is the antimatter. That's what mirror universe. When the universe was born, when the universe was split into, the matter, equal amount of matter and antimatter was split into two. That's what the universe was born 14 billion years ago. That was the both matter and antimatter was equally distributed, equally supposed to be. But we can't find antimatter, antimatter. We don't know where it is. We don't know the address of it. So it is missing in action. That's a mystery in physics. Where is this all huge amount of the antimatter is gone? Anti. So I'm going to explain what is antimatter is in a few seconds. But antimatter is, so that's like a positive. If you have a atoms, hydrogen atom, for example, I'm going to show you. I think that yes, that's good. So if you see the two atoms there, hydrogen atom, this is a proton in the center in the nucleus, and electron in the negatively charged electron. Proton is a positively charged. That's a matter that we live in. You know, that's what that is that is the universe we live in. But the antimatter world is other way around. It's called antiproton, same mass, and then anti-electron, which is the positron. It's called positron. It's a there is a Earth. If you see the planet Earth is entirely anti-Earth is there, but possibly there is a anti-you there. But one thing you pray God that you never want to meet that person, because when you meet these two things together, there is a humongous amount of energy burst out. So that is a problem in the matter antimatter. They cannot come close together. When they come, there is a destructive force. But very strange. This we don't know the where exactly all the antimatter is gone, but we know we produce the antimatter in ourselves. Actually, bananas have a potassium 40 that produces almost 75 minutes. It spits out one positron actually. It positively antimatter. The bananas produce antimatter actually. So we also produce, because we eat bananas, and also we in radionuclides in the air also exist. So we breathe them. So we also emit 200 positron per hour. Positrons we per hour we emit actually. So our body is also makes we produce the antimatter in anti-positrons from our body. In fact, so I'm Indian, so I need to ask you how much it costs, right? So 1 gram of 1 gram of matter is a $65 trillion. That is expensive, most expensive. Even Elon Musk cannot afford it. That is way above everybody's budget. Even the world universal, but all the entire universe budget is not enough to make 1 gram of. They we can trap actually antimatter. So eventually they're thinking about put the antimatter as a rocket, as a space rocket, and go to as a space rocket fuel. That's what they wanted to use in the antimatter fuel. And the matter they put them together, it becomes a fuel. So that's that is one of the plans at least. But anyway, so the antimatter is that the so there is a it's a remarkable hero. Is from a British physicist, Paul Dirac. His name, Paul Adrian Dirac. So he was a brilliant, he's a genius of in among physics people. He's like almost one of the most respected and most revered personality in physics. Paul Dirac, he was working on a lot of scientific theories. One of the things is that he wanted to combine the special relativity of the Einstein with the general relativity, and then there's a problem there. So he was working on a mathematical equation. They say he doesn't talk much at all. He talks one. They call him 1 word per hour. Hey, that's what he is. It's a very quiet, but his brain is not quiet. He's very filled with the mathematical equations. So he came back with one of the mathematical equation, not exactly the same, the similar derivative in my. So sorry. So Paul Dirac came up with an equation, he scribbled an equation that he kept it because it gives the rise to a antimatter. At that time, there was no thought in the scientific field there exists a antimatter at all. That there is no positron, there is no mention of positron, there is no mention of any other things. So he did not believe. He's not sure about himself about that equation. So he kept it for 3 years under his. Then he checked and checked and checked. He's a very careful guy. He checked and then eventually released it. And then after 5 years of his, he was with his own mind, a brilliant mind, he came up with the equation. He imagined there exists a universe, there exists a antimatter particles like a positron, antiproton, even anti-atoms. All of them he imagined through his mathematical equations. So then after 5 years, after that, Caltech, Carl Anderson, they run the experiment after he discovered he came up with the equation. The Caltech discovered the anti-electron, which is a positron in the Wilson chamber. That is a cloud chamber they call. In the Wilson chamber, they see the electron is going one side, the other one is going the same mass, same thing, but it's going in opposite direction. That is what they concluded. That is a positron. So that is the now the story of PET scanner. Now everything I want to relate to the healthcare. That's my goal. All the physics and mathematics and science. So PET scanner, as most of the physicians know, this is to detect a tumor, detect cancer. PET scan is a gold standard. That's no other place that they do. So what they do is a positron emission tomography. That's the abbreviation for PET scanner is positive, is not a pet as you think, it's not a dog. PET is positron emission tomography. That is a scanner. So that's a gantry that you see in the white stuff. That is a big gantry. Go there, and there is a detector, and the person, you probably seen in the movies and everywhere, or you experienced yourself. So this is a very common detection method for cancers. They use it quite a bit in the very expensive equipment. Um, so that the next one is what they do is they inject a radio transmitter in your during some of the presidential elections they said that they're putting some chip inside my body. You could, in fact, it's possible. The radio transmitter is they inject a radio transmitter. It's called is the FDG. It's called fluorodeoxyglucose. Deoxy means kick out oxygen, basically. It is a glucose. The glucose and FDG or chemical analog. Chemical analog means they have the same chemical properties. They don't know the difference. The body doesn't know the difference between a glucose and FDG. What is FDG? Is the in addition to glucose is a radio transmitter. You see that 18F, that is a fluorine. That is a radio tracer. That produces the positron. So that is attached to the glucose. So the glucose and FDG are both exactly chemically same. Analog glucose FDG is analog to the glucose. So they inject the FDG inside. FDG injection they give. So when they give the FDG injection, then it takes the half-life is 2 hours. It's a hot lab. I need to mention about a hot lab. They do a special lab. They mix all these radioactive materials. Nuclear Regulatory Commission has a very strict standards on this one because these are all radioactive materials. So they need to be careful. People get cancers, and other people can do. Terrorists can do the different things. So they are very careful about it. They're a very highly regulated industry for the radio sources. So FDG is they call short term as FDG, is a radio source, radio transmitter they inject in the body. So there is the another one actually. There's strontium and the rubidium is for the heart. A lot of cardiologists, a lot of oncologists use FDG, and the cardiologists also FDG, but they prefer rubidium. Rubidium is another radioisotope. So that is a problem. You see, I will explain to you the problems, the challenges to face these things. But when they inject it, and then they have to wait for an hour or so, it will go inside the body. Then they take a movie of the what's going on in the body. So there's a detector there, right there. Detector. It's all the detectors on the you see on the rectangles on the gantry. In the gantry, these are all detectors. So now, once the X-ray, the PET scan come down, what happens when you take the radioactive material FDG? So it goes inside. This is produces a positron inside the inside. For example, give me say a scan of the brain to check for the tumors, cancers, Alzheimer's, all kinds of things you can check. So they want to do. They give the FDG. Then immediately there's a positron comes. What is the positron? Immediately when it emits the positron, it interacts with the matter right there next to that is the matter with the electron. So our body has a full of cells or nothing but atoms, right? There are atoms and protons, neutrons, electrons are there, quite a bit of electrons. So the immediately the positron interacts with the electron and produces a gamma ray, a fast, very high energy radiation, because you cannot get inside. How do you go inside unless you open before PET scan? You need to literally open and look at the cancer. You have to cut open, and exploratory surgery you have to do whether there is surgery the cancer there or not. Think about how the PET scan saved millions of lives, not cutting people up. So what it does is it open it so it the gamma ray radiation, it just is a very high energy photons. It's a light high energy photon you cannot see with the naked eye, but you can see that they follow the simply Newton's laws, Newtonian laws, speed, distance, time, simple, straightforward Newtonian laws they follow, and then they go because of the law of conservation of momentum. It has to follow the Newtonian law. So what the nature has to follow that law. So they exactly go 180 degrees. Exactly. So the detectors detect both sides. The detector at the same time or different sometimes. Attenuation factor. You don't need to know all those things. Attenuation factors. But that is the detectors. Millions of times it detects that. So what it does is so the when a patient goes inside, the the FDG produces the positron. Positron interacts with the electron, immediately produces the high energy gamma radiation, which is the high energy photon. It goes into the detectors and into the exactly opposite direction, 180 degrees. So you can use the mathematics to create what kind of things are going on inside the body, and you can do some complex mathematics, Fourier series and all the other series. They use it. They come up with a solution for the thing. Yeah, then you see the body here. For example, this is the PET scanner. It's a woman, a 40 years old woman. She has this. Just to show you, this is not a. So it is a structurally not. It's not a structurally sophisticated, but it's a functional. You will know exactly where the glucose. You see, our body, the cancer. One of the cancers is highly active. So cancer cells are highly active. They consume more glucose. And even general, our body needs glucose, right? So that's why you see a lot of them on the brain. The brain consumes a lot of energy. A lot of it takes. Brain is the biggest resource demand in our bodies. So it takes that the dark thing you see on the top of the that is above the torso. That is actually glucose intake uptake. So that is the brain takes a lot of glucose. That's not a cancer. That's not a cancer. But when you see the different shades, that you can put, you see that this is a problem here, in the left side, then the kidneys, and then the in the these are some of the cancers. For example, on the chest, on the right hand side, the one in the here on the right hand quadrant, on the fourth quadrant on the right side, that's a lung cancer. Most likely is a lung cancer. So these are the colon cancer, could be colon cancer here. So there is a lot of possibilities, a lot of things you can detect through this process. So this darkness, you can tell you with the dark structure, you can tell you the dark shadows, you can tell you what the cancer, where they were exactly located at. But it is not structurally not a high resolution. It's not a spatial resolution. So you need to get a CT scan. They combine the CT scan together to get the spatial resolution much better, clear up there. So they use a PET CT. That's why they use a PET CT and PET MRI nowadays. They use that. So that is the PET CT background. In fact, so the next one is that, but the radio sources. How do you generate the radio sources? How do you get these FDG? FDG is the radio source. This is the I you have to make the spaceship looking generator is called a cyclotron. Cyclotron is a high circular thing. It generates the high speed with high speed photons. What they do is they create these radio source materials. Um, so you think about we all think about which country is advanced country, in the sense that can think about that how many cyclotrons they have, so how many people they can save. That is clear. The United States is 150. So right behind it is China is 130 cyclotrons they have. In India is only just 19. 1.5 billion people, they have only 19. So the it's not that how many programs we have. We need to have this saving people lives. These kind of things are important to invest in and come up with these kind of things important. So we are way behind the United States and China in the cyclotron, the radio source generators. That's a cancer detection equipment. That is a gold standard. We need them. There is no other options there. So that's a very important for those things. So yeah, I used to see rubidium generator. There is a rubidium generator there for cardiologists to use a rubidium 82. But rubidium, the problem with this one is there were short life is all these a lot of the radio sources are, that for example FDG is 2 hours. So it has to be delivered, and in a lot of rural areas it's impossible to find that time factor. So eventually I think we should able to use drones in this area to drop these FDG and all the radio sources to the doctor's office, or hospitals, in fact. So I think we should able to use the drones to deliver these kind of radio sources to the field. So cyclotron is now. The next is positron emission tomography. They have a PET CT and PET MRI. You have both. PET MRI is extremely new. PET CT is existing for a while. PET CT is the CAT scan. It produces a lot of it needs a lot of radiation. CT scan, so you need a lot of heavy radiation required. So that's a problem. There's a 16 slice, 64 slice, 256 slice. More slices there, they need more radiation. That's a problem with the CT scan. MRI, there is no radiation. You can do that, but it's a little challenging. It's expensive. There are still the protocols are still in the development. It's not fully developed yet. It is a future thing. So the next one is the Paul Dirac died in he was from England. He spent a lot of years in shuttling back between the Princeton, Einstein. He always said that he was the apparent heir for the Einstein. He's supposed to take over Einstein's job, but Einstein recommended him highly. But the problem is his daughter is in Florida State. He picked up all the he's already won the Nobel Prize by the time. So he wanted to go to Tallahassee. So last decade of his life he moved to Tallahassee, and he stayed there, and he died as a towering personality. He died in 1984. He died in in Tallahassee. Um, so that they call him, okay. So they call him Mozart of science. In fact, it's a think about this, man. We have so many demigods now in technology. Everybody is a demigod. Oh my God! So these people really contributed to the world of medicine, world of science. They're unsung heroes. In fact, they're behind the scenes. You never know. We need to really praise. We need to pay attention to them. We need to admire them. This is a time. Science has to be from up front. These technology demigods, I don't want to say anything against them, but I think technology helps as a tool. But this without science, technology is like emperor without a clothes. So that is we need to really appreciate these people who gave the fundamental science, fundamental mathematics and science to the world of medicine. Thank you for listening. Is a short. Any questions in the future? We will take a question and answer. We are still in the beginning stages. That is a tombstone. They put his equation. Is so famous. His equation was written on his tombstone in Westminster in England, and Tallahassee has a tombstone there too. He's a University of Tallahassee, Florida. Among all the schools, he could pick up any school. In the world, he picked up the Tallahassee. Died in Tallahassee, in fact. His children were there at the time. That's why he went there. He's a very family man, and he's really one of the most. If you think about cancer, oncologists may not know him, but he's immortal in the oncology. This is in field of oncology because he gave birth to that equation. Positron exists. Because of him, all the mathematics came out. Then Carl Anderson found out, and we are now. You see PET CT everywhere, and PET scan and PET MRI is coming up. It is going to be the cancer detection became a part of the standard because of people like Paul Dirac. So I think we all owe a whole lot of gratitude, and Jennifer can introduce you some of the. We wanted to introduce some products and merchandise to us, not to make this is not a promotion of our company; it's promotion of us, promotion of the science, respect science, the things they contributed to us. That's more important. Okay, I will let Jennifer explain those things. I'll let you take over, Jennifer. Thank you for joining, and let me bring the Jennifer there. Okay, thank you, Jennifer. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Thank you, Ramana. Obviously, so informative, and Paul Dirac's unbelievable. So that's incredible. And to think that, I mean, he didn't pass away until 1984, but because of him, they use the PET scan all the time. People don't even, I mean, it's commonplace. So pretty incredible. And you're right. Technology is always changing. What doesn't change is science. Science is timeless. And so it's really fun for us to kind of take that history along with science and its concepts and create some curiosity. And that's what we did in our book with about, I don't know how many stories we have. I should count them. It's 145 pages, I guess, but the stories are all different, and they're only about it takes about 3 minutes to read each one. And for each story, we've got a lifestyle design, like this one that's on this cup. And this is our logo, but you could put your company logo here, and you could use our lifestyle designs on any kind of merchandise or swag that you have for your company. And it really does create curiosity. We have QR codes with our story on them, so you can add that, and it's fun, it's different, and it really does create curiosity, and it gets us talking about something that you normally wouldn't be talking about. So I'm always really pretty excited about that. So get a med cup and put one of our logos on it, one of our, not logos, but one of our lifestyle designs, and give it to all the people in your company. It'd be great. Or maybe at a trade show or something that you might be having going on. And so that's, I think, all I have, Ramana.
The website, what is you mentioned website, Jennifer? What is the website?
Again, our website is www.dailywearformedicine.com, and four is FOM. So dailywearformedicine.com, and you can see what merchandise and swag we put our designs and lifestyle designs on. But again, you can put one of our lifestyle designs on anything that you have for your company. So it would be a great concept and a great gift for customers and clients and just the general public. So thanks.
Thank you. Bye.